Namaste and a very good evening to all of you. My friends, I would like to place a request before all of you. Please turn to the person sitting to your left or to your right and try and introduce yourself. Tell them your name, where do you come from. But in doing so, try doing it without speaking, without uttering a word. Yes, you can imagine how difficult it is. This is what thousands of patients across the world go through when they lose their voice box to advanced throat cancer. Unfortunately for these throat cancer patients, they breathe through a hole in the throat. Think of it for a second, take a good deep breath and you'll realize what a gift we have been bestowed with, and these patients don't have it. They breathe through a hole in the throat. They cannot enjoy the fragrance of a coffee or that of a perfume. In Bangalore, years later, I came across a coolie, a worker who hadn't spoken for years together, and he kept explaining about his desire to speak. Now the reason why he was not able to speak was that there are two prosthetic devices available across the world, the European makes and the American makes, and the patients were not able to afford it. Laborers, coolies, drivers, they were not able to afford it because their cost would be somewhere around 35,000 Indian rupees only for the machine, and that would require replacement every 6 months and the costs of additional insertions and other things extra. So these patients would remain in silence. This kind of stimulated my thinking towards the larger purpose of what I could do to elevate their suffering and make a small difference in their life and touch their lives. So in the next coming years, I spent time trying to look at what we could do, and that's when my dear friend Shashank joined me in this endeavor. Shashank is a silicon expert, and both of us joined together for the next couple of years to work towards making a voice prosthesis that we believed would be accessible, affordable and affable. And the reason why we wanted to do this was we believed that speech and communication in our society is not only a basic tenet that sustains life force, but is also a right to freedom, peace, justice and dignity. It is only because of costs that these patients were not able to speak. So we believed that speech is a right and not a privilege, and that every person had the right to speak. So over the next 2 years, we actually worked with the best of experts. We imported platinum cured medical grade silicon from Germany, and we spent our time with material experts, physicists and others to create the Om voice prosthesis. I remember when our first patient who used the Om prosthesis spoke, he was a security guard. His only desire was to break the silence and go to his daughter's wedding, be on the stage and interact with people. When he first spoke, he said the words Om Namah Shivaya. And that is when we thought Om was a sound of silence. Om was a sound of creation. And it denoted something in this patient who broke the sound of silence. So that's when we called this prosthesis Om. Today, we have within us Mr. Sudhindra Bhandarkar, one of my very dear patients, who is speaking with the Om voice prosthesis, and he will be speaking to you now about his experience with Om.
मेरा नाम सुरेंद्र भंडारकर है। मैं ओरिजिनली फ्रॉम मैंगलोर, इधर आगे सेटल हो गया। 6 साल का पहले मेरे को कैंसर आया था। मैं डॉक्टर विशाल सर का पास आया। उन्होंने ऑपरेट करने के बाद अभी थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा बात करता हूँ। कस्टमर से भी मेरे से बात करता है। पहले मेरे को बात करने के लिए नहीं होता था, अभी बेटर 70% बेटर हो गए।
Now, in the next coming days, we were faced with another intriguing problem. We were not able to create an effective inserter to do replacements of these prostheses in the OPD itself. That would save time and money for these patients. At this juncture, something very strange happened to me. It was one of those evenings that my wife called me out for shopping. You see, I had a philosophical divide with my wife on shopping because she goes to pick up what she wants and I go to figure out what I want. But she insisted that I join her, so me and my 3-year-old joined her in this program, and we were there in the shop moving around. At that juncture, my son was running all helter-skelter trying to throw some boxes, and I was trying to pick them and put them back to the shelf when I actually bumped across a box of tampons on the floor which my son had thrown, and I stared into it. That was my voila moment, a eureka moment for me. I thought to myself that this tampon boxes is exactly what I was looking for to be the prototypes for my inserters. These are not medical devices, they are available off the shelf and they're being used every day. Why not look at a simpler model like this for our insertions? Now thereafter, we continue to pursue this innovation, and the biggest learning we had in this was the power of lateral thinking, the power of uncommon collaborations. And today I want to reiterate the fact that this has been the principle to us on which we have been working on copy left, not copyright, where we are actually trying to share ideas to make this world a better place. So today we've created the Om Voice Chain, which is trying to take the Om Voice prosthesis to the poorest of the poor countries where there is no access to healthcare. And our aim here is not only to rehabilitate voice, but to rehabilitate their lives, to help them reclaim their lives. With this endeavor, we are trying to reach out to more than 188 countries, and I request all of you here to come and join us and be a part of the Om Voice Chain to make a difference to their lives. We are now reaching out to more than 188 countries and to the United Nations to recognize laryngectomy as a voice handicap and help rehabilitate their lives. Thank you.